It's Rhythm and Soul Radio. I am Marco Nobles. We have our virtual studio open, and in this edition of our virtual studio, we are joined by producer, playwright, lyricist, founder, and president of Grandparents Around the World. She's written a play called Dinner at Grandma's, and it's celebrating its 20th anniversary this year and this weekend. Evern Gillard-Randolph is with us. Mrs. Randolph, how are you?
I'm fine, Miss Noble. How are you today?
I am well. I am well. This weekend, December 14th, Saturday, you are celebrating the 20th anniversary of your play, Dinner at Grandma's, which I believe kind of launched Grandparents Around the World.
It actually did. Well, the play came first because I wanted to write something to memorialize my grandmother. She had passed away about 3 years prior, and I just right. I wrote the play Dinner at Grandma's, and from that experience of bringing seniors and community together, and really talk about the work of our elders and our seniors and how they just go through life and navigate and bring community together because that's the community that I was raised in. I wanted raised in, which is in Cross, South Carolina. So we talking about a community of seniors that really support each other. It was during the 60s and the 70s. And I wanted to come in and identify those people that had that same spirit that lived in New York City. So we started the organization called It actually was Grandmothers Around the World. And when I brought in my committee and the board member, they was like, I'm passionate about my grandfather, just like you passionate about
Mm-hmm.
your grandmother. So I says, okay. It went 1 year as grandparents around, grandmas around the world. But when we got incorporated in 2005, we changed it to grandparents around the world, which is beautiful because we have to include our male. We have to include our male and just bring that whole family bonding together. And actually, grandparents really helped us achieve those goals.
Absolutely. I mean, certainly we all have fond memories of our grandparents. Many of us raised by our grandparents or partially raised by our grandparents. So to have an organization like Grandparents Around the World to celebrate them and continue to foster the intergenerational nature of our family relationships and the importance of it is very is still very needed.
It's still very needed, and those spirits is keep making us who we are and how we as we age. Well, for myself personally, I try to keep some of that in the forefront of my everyday living. I can't bring all that was given to me, my whole childhood, my whole experience, but the one that was precious is as simple as be kind, share what you have, be considerate of other people. I never want to lose that because that becomes the compassion and it becomes the compassion for living. And right now, in the environment we need this so much. Our children need that so much right now. We as an adult that watching our children in the street and when you go out every day, we need that. We have to portray that. This is what people have to see when they see us. That's what we saw in our grandparents.
Right, right. Now, this weekend in the celebration, this is going to be a theater and food festival taking place this weekend.
Well, grandparents is considered as a trend starter. So we had the opportunity to do this play, and James Storbo was passionate. He was the first
Mm,
director that came on, and when he read the script, he said, "Oh my God!" Even this, well, he was the first person that read the script. The first person that read the script was Alfred Preiser, actually, because I went to the Harlem Arts Alliance meeting, and someone from that meeting, you need to go to the Harlem School of the Arts because they were doing a lot of pre-producing. We had just done the play at Jacoby Hospital Auditorium, and we had it at Thessalonian. And we also had done it at the Producers Club. And they said you need to go to the Harlem School of the Arts. So I called him up, and I was talking about this play and 29 pages. And I've never written anything and never thought about writing, didn't really understand the format of writing. but I stayed in the house 6 months and I wrote this piece. And it's truly God. I can't even think of it any other way. But when he wrote it, he was so connected to it. And
Mhm.
he told me to go to, he said, well, we can't do anything here because it was not formatted. It was just how I see it and how I think it should have been written. And he said, well, go to 150th Street. What's the pastor name? Reverend Ike's church. He said,
Okay.
Ice Church is doing community plays. Maybe you should take it there. And I remember going there, looking at that church, but nothing ever never happened. I continued to go to the Harlem Arts meeting, which was held every Monday, every once a
A
month
month, yeah, once a month. Yep.
on Monday. And that's when I had the opportunity to speak. And I says, I wrote this little play that called Then I Grandma. As a matter of fact, this is one of our first playbills. I don't know if you could see it or not. This is
Yeah.
the very first playbill. And we see my grandmother and my grandfather's is in the picture actually, and all the cast and what they do in this playbook. And this is how we start producing this work. So when we will go to and James Stovall, and I said, my name is Evern Gillard-Randolph, and I wrote this little play. And walking out, and he's walking in, and he said, I will help you. And
Mm.
I had a pad. Oh my God, he was amazing. I had this brown pad. I was like, you're gonna help me remember. I'm not in the theater world, right? I'm just pitching something. And
Right.
I said, you're gonna help me. And I said, listen now, you're gonna help me for free? Yeah, that,
You gotta get those answers quick. Yeah, yeah. You gotta
every
make
time
sure.
he tell me that, we would laugh about that so much. And I said, you're gonna help me. And you're gonna help me free because we didn't know. You're gonna help me free. He said, I'm gonna help you for free. And I said, okay, take it in this pad and write it down. And he actually wrote in the pad, I will help you. My name is James Stovall, and I will help you, and I will help you for free. Because
Mm.
that had to be that had to be documented. And now I had already produced the show about 3 times. I had some director that helped me. Ina Norris was actually the first person that actually directed Then Our Grandmas at Thessalonian,
Oh wow.
because you know Ina Norris, right?
I do. I do.
And
I
you
know
know my
well.
sister, right?
I'm sorry, say it again.
And you know my sister,
Who and your sister is?
Flora.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I know Flora.
Yes. And
Absolutely.
y'all were on stage together, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
And that's the only
Yes.
thing I knew about theater because Ina used to borrow my uniform all the time when she had the cop scene.
Right, right.
She would always go, Evert, I need the uniform. So, and I would come to her play. I went to Broadway, but never even thought about being in this rim. And so I would go to James, and I think he was doing something on Broadway, and I'm going back up and I'm writing the songs and I'm doing all this stuff. I'm getting ready to go back into casting. And I was like, James Stovall said he was going to act me. Where is this guy? He said he was going to help me and he was going to help me for free. October go, November go, December. So January, you got to start doing your casting and getting people. We would go downstairs in the studio and cast. We went to the art school and cast. That's why so many fabulous people have been on this production, and it was always done so well. So I'm writing this song, and I have my granddaughter in the basket. And I said, please, please, please don't crack. And my daughter had just started work. And I said, please, please, just let me do this, right? And I says, listen, if you let me get through this, I will write you a song. Remember, I'm not a playwright, right? And I looked down at her and I said, beautiful eyes with pointed nose, beautiful smile and a skin that glows. Just like Anna Meyer, you're beautiful. That was the first song that I wrote.
And the beauty of this in the story is kind of like the stories that we sit and hear from our grandparents of whatever is going on is being able to tell the story and tell the history. And you're going to be continuing that history this weekend. It's Rhythm and Soul Radio. We are talking with Evern Gillard-Randolph. She is the creator, founder of Grandparents Around the World. She's created the play Dinner at Grandma's, and this weekend, the 20th anniversary of Dinner at Grandma's will be celebrated with a festival, a theater festival, food festival.
Grandma, you coming to Grandma's house, where we
Yes,
have a grandma pop-up shop, where we have the banana pudding that you can come and buy for the holiday, sweet potato pies. We have Italian pastry. We have Caribbean food, Southern foods, Thai food. We are doing this through a community of love. And we're actually turning this mansion into Grandma's home. So when you come in this weekend, you come into Grandma's house, and you will be able to see some of the footage. And we have brought in some beautiful playwright to join us. You know, Michael Green is the director of this, Shades of Truth, and we're bringing in some other playwright. But we just want to celebrate the spirit of the holiday and bring community together.
and we want to certainly let everybody know when we talk about coming to Grandma's home this weekend, this is the Andrew Freedman Mansion in the Bronx on Grand Concourse, 1125 Grand Concourse in the Bronx. And you'll have a chance to not only see Dinner at Grandma's, but also Was It Me by Andrea Fulton, scenes from, or some of the plays from, or work from the Brownstone Step Festival, which is curated by Alicia Foxworth. And then Ms. Randolph mentioned Michael Green with the with productions The Meeting and 39 Steps Toward Freedom. There'll be stage readings of new plays, including Second Time Around and Childhood Memories, all taking place. And then, of course, all the foods. Now, I mean, this is a real interesting production to be able to have all of these things go on
Only in
within
a
a short
mansion.
period of time.
Only in a mansion.
Right. We should mention it's taking place from 1 to 4 p.m. this Saturday, December 14th. And again, there is different foods in one room. There are plays in another room. There is readings in the library, right?
Right.
You know, so there's definitely many different things that people can participate in. And if people want to get more information and get more of the details, is there a website? Is there, the Facebook or whatever for people to go to look at?
Yes, they can go to our website, Grandparents Around the World, which is www.gatw.org. We have a fabulous website. You click on the event and you will see the information about the play. They're also listed on Eventbrite there, and we have physical tickets because we're talking about seniors. They want their tickets in their hands.
Absolutely. So
But they want those tickets.
we invite you to certainly go to the website, go to Eventbrite. GATW.org is the website again, and you can go to Eventbrite and look for Dinner at Grandma's, food and theater festival, and pull it up and get the information. And keep listening to Rhythm and Soul Radio, because we actually will be on site broadcasting live on rhythmandsoulradio.com. So we want to make sure that you all can join us in person, and then you can share the experience in person as we all enjoy celebrating, the family bond through our grandparents. One thing I do want to ask you, though, Ms. Randolph, because I'm sure you've encountered this over the years, as we talk about our grandparents, there is, the cycle of life, that there is transition that takes place, and being able to kind of hold on to those memories, even though it could be sad that they're not with us, our grandparents aren't with us anymore in the physical. How do you see that? How have you seen that manifest itself over the years, the 20 years you've now been doing this play?
Well, it truly made me a believer. First of all, because my grandmother actually saw it. And she was trying to, because I was so close. My grandmother partially raised me. My mother had the 13 kids. And my grandmother convinced me to, my mother, she was very strict. She was not going to separate her kids. But somehow it was something my grandmother saw in me. And my mother allowed me to spend most of my childhood with her. And she was the pillar of the community. I mean, she was one of the only lady that had a husband was coming out of that she could drive, and she had this Falcon. I'll never forget it, a red Falcon. And whether people someone was sick, she would have she was an Eastern Star. She was very involved with her church and missionary. And she was just a person that would help everyone. If somebody needed to go to the store, they would come to my grandmother's house. I, I sat with so many seniors. I know more seniors as a kid than I had friends because they would come to my grandmother all time of night, whether someone was dying. My grandmother used to do the medicine, emergency. They were all the my, and it was not just Black people, it was people from different culture that would come and they would sit on my grandmother's porch and they would have the conversation. We're the kids, we were just playing. So it was not this thing with color. That's why I tried not to see colors. I really tried not to see. I look for the human side, and that's how I deal with people. It doesn't matter. Color really doesn't hold it to me. Um, but I just want to be a child of God, and I just want to do some amazing thing as a human being. And the thing is that out of my mother 13 children, I didn't see myself being in this space. I saw my sister like Flora, you know, she was in theater for a long time and I took a different career, but I was never a theatrical person until I wrote this play. So what I would say is um, because I had that experience, it was in me. And it was just manifested this way. And when people ask me, even when I first started, well, where you think? I said, I don't know. God just gave me the beginning. I said, my grandmother saw it. And when she was trying to tell me, I thought she was telling me that she was going to die. And I ran out of the hospital. But she was saying, oh my God, it's you, it's not my kid. And her eyes are bulging and she's raising up out of her bed. And I said, Grandma, please don't tell me you're going to die. And I ran out the hospital. And as I
Mm.
ran out the hospital, I said, if you, God, if you let her live to be 90 years old, I would do something amazing. So on her 90th birthday, her birthday was December 5th. And her 90th birthday, I gave her a beautiful birthday celebration where I brought all the people in from that was in the north because my grandmother was in the south and we migrated north. So we always have family coming back from New York. And
Mhm.
where the children had to clean the yard, the clothes, and do everything, the baking, everything like that. So I basically bridged those two stories together, and it's my interpretation of what I heard, seen, and just creating those stories around that.
Obviously, it's relatable to everyone. You know, anyone who has had the experience of being able to sit with your grandparents, and many of us sit at our grandparents' feet and listen to them, or we're helping them around the house when we go visit for the summers, as was my experience when you go down south for the summers and all of
What
that.
do you go to?
Yeah.
Where did you
So,
go? Where do you go
uh,
to winter in?
North Carolina. My family's from North
Oh,
Carolina.
North Carolina, yes.
Yeah. So there was a lot of going down for the summer, going down for Christmas, being around, my grandmother, helping her out around the house, helping around the yard, and learning, in the process. And I'm sure as people have watched the play over the years, they can reminisce on those times and the lessons they've learned. And those who haven't seen the play will have a chance this weekend, Saturday, December 14th at the Andrew Freedman House, 1125 Grand Concourse in the Bronx from 1 to 4 p.m. It's a dinner at Grandma's, theater and food festival taking place. Evern Gillard-Randolph is the not only the writer of the play, but the founder and director of grandparents around the world, excuse me. So we invite you to go to, gatw.org to get all the information about this weekend's events, so you can come out and celebrate part of the holiday season. It's a great time to have some great memories
Yes.
about your grandparents, and celebrate with others, and be able to get some great food, get some gifts for the holidays, etc., and participate in a community that's quite unique. So, Ms. Randolph, thank you so much for taking the time.
Yes. But we forgot our food star from the Gordon Ramsay school.
Oh, please, yeah, please talk about that.
Yeah. The Princess Zabriskie, chef. And she was presented on the Food Star program with Gordon Ramsay. She will be at this event displaying her products now and showcase what her journey. And we just looking forward to having her coming out and be part of it. She's actually traveling from North Carolina to join us. So I'm just so excited about this event. And this is our first anniversary, and we just looking forward to presenting this again in our community. Everyone has been asking me to do it again, but theater is just so expensive right now. But it's about creating, and this is what I've got from my community and growing up, is that the goal in life not to get stuck, just find a way. And
Absolutely.
presenting in this way makes sense. And what was so great about this, we always presented a professional show. And if I couldn't do it professionally, I found the people that could help me that. So we have 13 hours of footage of dinner at Grandma's. And we can go back and reflect on that and create something to bring the community together. The Grandma's Sweet Shop, it was only because we're in the mansion. And when you come to this, you will have shelves that we're going to put in place where you can put I want this, and you take it off the shelves. And there we go. You go with your sweet potato pie. You go with your apple pie. You go with your lemon meringue pie. You go with your fruit cake. Banana
Excellent. Excellent. I'm certainly looking forward to it. I'm sure our listeners will be as well. Again, go to gatw.org to get all the information about the event this Saturday, December 14th, 1 to 4 p.m. at the Andrew Freedman Mansion, 1125 Grand Concourse in the Bronx. It is Dinner at Grandma's Theater and Food Festival, taking place from 1 to 4 p.m. this Saturday, December 14th. Mrs. Randolph, thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you on Saturday.
Wonderful seeing you. I will see you all the time.
Yes.
And thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. It's Rhythm and Soul Radio.
Okay.